Hi, my name's Richard, and this is my home lab. I do work on my lab every day, and I try and learn new things every day. That's part of what we do as techies, right? And I know that the industry moves fast, and I'm a network guy by trade, but I've done a lot of things in the past: Novell Network, Microsoft, Windows Server, all that sort of stuff. So I do have a lot of history, and I do have a lot of things that I've worked with, and I like to remember the past. So there's a bit of a nostalgia. I've got a load of crap next to me. I'm going to document it, and I'm going to share it with you guys on the tube. So yeah, these are, some of the things that are on my desk that we're going to probably go through. I've got the rack behind me just here, and I'm going to be recabling that. So I've just started taking out some of the older cables. These are like category 5E. So if you get one of these cables, you can just look on the side of it and it'll tell you what standard it is. So 5E, that one, and this one was, what did I say it was? 6, right? Where is that gone? 6 plus. So yeah, if you get these Ethernet cables, you can tell what standard they are. But these ones are Cat 8 cables. So more twists per foot and all the insulation and such. And it's got a nice braided sheath rather than the plastic. So it just looks a little bit nicer. It's not quite focusing there, but you have to take my word for it. Maybe if I can do that. Is that better? No, you can't really tell, but it's a nice braided sheath on that one. So we're going to replace the stuff that's in the rack with these older cables to something a little bit more quality. One of my friends from the UK shipped me an Ethernet switch. Let me just move that box over there. An Ethernet switch, but the power supply was broken, so I ripped that out. It needs a good clean. I did give it a vacuum, but it needs a good clean. I've got some propyl alcohol, so I'll just clean out these fans, and if I can't get them to be quiet, I might need to replace them. But unfortunately, these Cisco routers, look, they're supposed to go into a data center, so having them quiet for a home lab isn't really what they want to do. So they don't really care too much about the noise. But in our case, it's going in a home lab, so I'm probably going to have to replace these, or at least let's see if we can clean them out, oil them up, and reduce the volume. But yeah, there's a new power supply coming. I think it'll be shipped on Friday, so I should get that. It's only 20 quid from eBay, so everyone's a winner. It's quite an old switch. That's going to go into the rack. Inside the rack, I've already got a Mikrotik 48 port gig Ethernet switch. So I don't need this, but I think having it gives us an opportunity to do some live patching and configuration. So I'm going to do that in one of the videos. So that's good, but I need to wait for the power supply. So when the power supply comes, we will do a bit of that. One of my projects that I'm really keen to get on with, but can't seem to find the time to spend on it, is this, which I received from the High Nibble in Australia. This fantastic chap has built a replica of an IMSAI 8080 computer, and anyone who knows the history of computing will recognize this unit. Obviously not from this kit form, but if anyone's watched War Games, then you'll know what this is immediately. So the computer that is used to hack into the WOPR, the War Operation Plan Response computer in War Games by David Lightman, is one of these. Now this is a kit, so it's not the whole computer, and by the way, I wouldn't have the space for that anyway. But this is supposed to be, and I'll put some links in, obviously. I'll give the link to where I bought this from. But Dave's a great chap, and he's actually recorded how to build this thing, so that'll make my life a little bit easier. All the components are in here. Even the original toggle switches look sweet. I mean, I don't really want to open it up and spoil the surprise, but it's a beautiful. Let me do it. Ash, I wasn't going to do this because I'm hoping it doesn't all fall apart when I open it up. But he's gone to such lengths to get this as close as possible to how it looked originally. Even this beautiful PCB, and specifically I loved it because of this wonderful acrylic front, you can see how marvelous that looks. It's absolutely outstanding, and that's going to look really, really nice when it's put together. So yeah, and we'll get onto this. But one of the first jobs I did when I left uni was working as an engineer in Manchester in the UK, and as part of my, I don't know, baptism of fire, I was a field engineer. So I was driving around, if you can imagine, I was driving around Manchester. This looks like it's been damaged a little bit. I was driving around Manchester, and basically my boss would ring me and say, okay, Rich, you need to go and install this. And actually I was a netwear engineer, so Novell netwear was my thing. But they started getting calls for things like bridges, which were like at the time brand new. We're talking like not brand new, but pretty new to the industry, I would say. So 90, where are we talking, like 96, 95, 96. So I'd go and install these network bridges, media, if you can imagine like a media place. They would have a bunch of Unix computers, mostly SGI IRIX, but then because there was a little bit of Unix in that, my boss started using me for other projects that I would just get called for. So one of the things that I did was work with SCO systems, and they were really fascinating to me because I'd never expected that such a great, I mean, it's a great operating system. I don't know why it got so little love, because actually SCO Unix, and you know, I had no problems with it. I really loved it, and it runs on Intel, so you would see that a lot more in corporate than anything else that I saw. Mostly in education, I saw Solaris, and I saw SGI IRIX. I didn't see so much HP. In fact, I don't remember seeing any HP. Or IBM stuff. Oh no, there was an RS6000 I saw once, so yeah, AIX probably on that. But in terms of SCO, I saw that a lot. And speaking of netwear, I'll just walk over here. I'm a bit of a nostalgia nerd, not to quote the guy. Actually, I love his channel, but in my time at uni, sorry, not at uni. I used to work in a uni. And we had SGI systems there that were running the Netscape suite. So Sweet Spot is the, I guess, the brand, not the brand, what would you call it? The product set of Netscape in the enterprise. And they would have a bunch of things like the news server, and they would have the web server, the Netscape web server. What else? Collabora, which was their email server, and like, what else? Yeah, just basically a bunch of stuff that you'd see with simply everywhere now. But at the time, this was, I mean, this was expensive shit, and this was what I managed as an administrator for about 3 or 4 years in this university environment. So I've got this. I've also got the enterprise suite, which is on my shelf behind me. So we're going to do a little bit of that on IRIX and on Windows NT. I was a Microsoft NT MCSE, so way back. Again, this is you know, it's sealed. It's gonna be great. We're going to install that on the computer in this rack behind me. I've also got some Novell DOS. I'm not sure if I'm going to bother installing that. That's just a little bit of niceness for my nostalgic heart. But Novell DOS, we can probably install that. May be able to install that. A lot of the things, like, so for netwear, for example, this is a netwear 3.2 box. Media's inside and the books is inside. It is pre-used, but I don't care so much. We can install this, and actually netwear 3.2 depends on a DOS operating system. So you install basically the MS-DOS, or in our case probably DR-DOS, Novell DOS. Then you install netwear that runs on top of that. I've got a netwear 3.2. I've also got a copy of 4.1, 4.2, which was intranetwear. Now intranetwear starts getting interesting because then we have the introduction of IP, and again, Netscape developed their Sweet Spot stuff to run on netwear. Just briefly, I think there was even a collaboration between Novell and Netscape at some point. I'd have to Google that, but I'm sure there was something going on there. Just fantastic history, you know. Netscape as a company. It's such a shame that Microsoft have this destructive like DNA. Just basically, they have this like they're like I mean, I don't want to speak too ill of Microsoft because they'll probably sue me or whatever, you know. But everyone knows the history of Microsoft. They would basically infiltrate a company that they want to destroy and kill it from the inside. Whether they would, in this case for Netscape, they basically essentially, as you all know probably, started distributing their own web browser, Internet Explorer, and then because that was free with the operating system, it pretty much destroyed a lot of the business for Netscape. And again, Internet, what was it called? Internet Information Server, IIS. Again, Microsoft distributed for free with their NT server system. So again, that destroyed Netscape's web enterprise software market, and the whole company was sold to AOL. But not so much. So yeah, loads of software, loads of interesting stuff going on. I've got an SGI PC behind me. It's not. Let me see if I can get the. In fact, let me pause it here. I'll just get the video set up for the. So we can show inside the rack. I'll get hold of this PC and you can show you what we're going to do with that. Okay, got a bit of lens flare from the sunshine outside. Hopefully it's not too bad, but inside the rack here, I bought this. This is a PC. It's basically made by a company called Box, B-O-X-X. The heritage isn't so old. This is a 2006, but it's a dual Xeon, 3 gigs. It's got 64 gigs of RAM. I swapped out the disk drives and I put in some SSDs. What else did I do? I replaced the PSU, which was broken, and what else? Oh, I changed the video card. Now, the video card doesn't quite fit the chassis, but I used that because the old video card was faulty. And on this PC, we'll install NetWare, we'll install NT, we'll install all of those Netscape things. Probably install SCO Unix as well. We also have underneath an SGI Octane 2, which I got from Ian Mapleson in the UK. I'll do a video about that. In fact, I did an unboxing video for that, so I can probably share that with you once I've found the disc that I bloody recorded it on. And if I've lost the disc, Ian's going to kill me because I promised him I would do a really nice unboxing because Ian's packing is sensational. These Mac Minis, I've got 4, one from 2012, one from 2014, I think. No, 2 from 2012. I've got 2019, which was the last Intel Mac Mini, and then the new M1 Mac Mini inside one of these. These are all just Sonnet RackMacMini racks. I used to use these really cheap Chinese. Let me try and show you one. I used to put the Macs. I used to hang them on. In fact, I'll put it on this little camera here. I used to hang them on these. I'll just stand them up on these little metal, you know, aluminium, whatever stands. And they work fine. But it's nice to put them in the rack. You just get a better. Well, obviously, I've got some cooling in there. There's a UPS at the bottom, so all that good stuff. But yeah, that got me by. It was cheap enough. Then we've got this Mikrotik switch, and this is running Switch OS, not the router OS, so that's going to be interesting. Yeah, and then we'll just put the Cisco switch in here as well when that's configured. And like I say, at the bottom we've got this SGI. There's another SGI over there, an O2, which we can look at, and then yeah, just a bunch of projects I want to share. I want to document for my own purposes because I do a lot of work, but never seem to document it. And then if I share it with you guys, maybe there'll be some benefit to you. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. As I do these things, I'll record them and then upload them to YouTube. I hope they're of some use to you. Pretty much like I say, they're of use to me because I'm going to document what I do instead of just blasting through stuff and forgetting how I did whatever I did. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you stick around as we go through all these things. I do have another. So I've got these 2 channels, right? I've got these 2 ideas. One's like networking, because that's what I do: networking, CCNA, CCNP, CCIE stuff. And then there's this other part of my brain which wants to do all this great historical stuff, but I don't know which one to do. Put them both in the same channel. I haven't got a clue. So it might end up being a bit of a mismatch of stuff being put in the same channel. if that's bad, then you're gonna have to let me know, because I've got no idea what I'm doing really. But as I do it, I'll document it, share it. If you like it, that'll be great. All right, you take care. Bye bye now.